Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode, the long lost, well it's not really long lost, but it's been a while, episode of Tech Pop Boom. We're back with your hosts, Scott and Brandon. I am not Brandon.
And I am not Scott.
Ha! It's been a while, Brandon. Let's see if we can figure this thing back out again. First of all, before we continue this episode, I have to sincerely apologize because we have not done a podcast in, oh Jesus, it's been forever, and I gotta take probably the majority of the blame. I had moved. We briefly covered this, very briefly, but I moved it's been about a year, and it's been crazy on my end, and we still have boxes all over the house and just a lot of crap. And it's been busy at work too. Brandon and I we work together, for anyone who doesn't know listening to this. And we are actually on the same shift for the first time in years.
Yeah,
years. Yeah. So with all that being said, the past is the past. We're going to try and pick this thing up again and see if we can't figure it out. Because like I said, it's been a while, but it's like a bike. Once you get on,
I wouldn't say that's like all your fault. It's been my fault too.
You're right. I was covering.
It's been a little bit my fault.
It's actually.
Well, no, it's not. It's not all my fault. It's a little. I take a little bit of the blame for it. It's yeah. I've been like busy too. But no, it's not you. It's just that it's just our schedules just never matched. I think that's what happened.
Well, before I moved, because we were on different schedules, and at one point, it was really difficult to get a hold of Brandon. Well, it was really hard to get a hold of you because of the schedule you were on. You would sleep so late, and I would literally. You have two phones. I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to everyone else.
Yeah.
You have two phones, and I would call each one of your phones. I would text you on each one of your phones. I would Facebook Messenger you. I would
be asleep, but I would be.
I would send. I would. What do you call it? The Falcon birds with the. I would any kind of communication.
Oh, you would do a Raven, yeah.
That's
you. Right.
That's what I was like. Yeah, whatever. That was a bad joke, but yeah, I would send Ravens any way I could possibly get a hold of you. I would try to.
But the Ravens did wake me up.
Well, too late. They just got there yesterday. So that was part of the problem. It's just really hard to get a hold of you. But whatever, we're doing it again. And
I'm awake now at the same time you are. So that's originally I was supposed to do my own podcast of just tech stuff, and I know you were waiting for me to do it before you started to do this podcast, and then we were like, hey, why don't we just do this just with me and you,
Right.
So
well, there may be another one at some point with just you doing the news because, like I say, at times it's just really hard to get together. To get this whole thing together. So if that ever happens again, we'll just say, hey, Brandon, just throw an episode up there. Just read the news or do whatever you want to do, just so we can get something out there.
It won't be like really long, like 6 or 7. How many months? 9. Wait, we're on 9 months. Wait, 9 months, right?
Yeah, if you say so. Yeah, probably
9 months. So it won't be like that anymore. I promise I'll have. Even if I just gotta do the tech news,
Well, we can't say we promise, but we'll try.
Yeah, we'll try. I will try harder since I have all the equipment.
Yeah, and that being said, Brandon, I know Brandon loves like tech news. He really. It was his idea to do this podcast because he wanted to do just tech news. So he's got, news he loves to talk about. So,
but it was so hard for me to record a podcast because I tried to record one with just me and I just redid it. I would get to the end, listen to it, edit it, and then I would delete it because I hated it. I hated how I sound.
Well, it is what it is.
It is. It is. I was getting ready to say, forget it, never mind. We'll just go straight to do just what shows we watched or whatever. Right. I mean, that's what we're gonna do.
Speaking of which, let's put an end to that whole thing and let's move to that exactly. What have you been watching? It's been a while. What have you been watching? And I have a feeling you probably have been a little lazy on your watching because we haven't been
Oh,
whatever. We haven't been
lazy.
on it.
Actually, it's the
I don't know.
opposite,
Maybe you
man.
haven't.
I haven't. No, it's the opposite. Shoot,
What
I
have you been
should have
watching?
my list. I don't even know. You know what, Scott? I don't even know where to even start. Well, I guess we could start at Game of Thrones. Let's start at Game of Thrones first.
Yeah, how unbelievable. Game of Thrones, I thought, typically with Game of Thrones, um, I always have the guys at work, they give me a hard time because I always have the same complaint, which is it always starts off slow. You
It
wait,
does.
a year for this show. And the first episode comes and it's like, okay, it's back. I'm happy to have it back, but nothing's happening. And then a few weeks go by and still kind of the same thing. And then by mid-season, it starts to get really good. And of course, it always ends really big. But this season, because it was a shortened season, what was it 7? How many episodes was it, Brandon?
I think it was 6 or 7. I think.
6. Okay.
I think it
Well,
was
it was a
6.
shorter season. It wasn't as many episodes as past seasons. And in my opinion, the action started right away, the very first episode.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great. So much had happened. My God, the ending, the final episode was just amazing. And of course, next season will be the last. And I believe it's going to be even less episodes than this season was. But yeah, I have nothing but great things to say. It was just incredible.
Do you think they're gonna have it longer? Like
What do you mean longer?
like instead of having it an hour, each episode being an hour
Well,
and 30
they
minutes?
they did do that this season. They had the final episode was an hour and a half, I believe, and then the second from last episode was just over an hour. I think it was like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. So I mean, it's possible they may, and I hope they do. I mean, God, I mean, I want as much as they can give, as much as they can put out. I would love if they added another couple episodes, but whatever they can do it.
I waited and
Yeah.
power watched the whole thing, and I'm
Yeah,
glad I
Brandon,
did.
you didn't watch it live. You waited for the everything to be aired before you watched the entire season. I was watching week to week, and I couldn't believe you didn't do the same because
No,
I so much wanted to talk to you and say, "Hey, did you watch last week?" And of course, you didn't. So I say, "Here I'm at work. I work with you every day now, and I see you, and it's like I can't even talk to you about it, you
no,
asshole.
you
Turn it on
can't.
and
You
watch
can't. You can't fucking no. You can't talk to me about it because I want to watch the whole thing. But now you
it." All right.
can because I literally, yeah. Now we're caught up. Now
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It was great.
so what
Very
else
good.
did you want to? What else did you watch?
Well, only because it's fresh on my mind. Because before this podcast happened, I was literally in the process of finishing up a show called The Sinner, and it's on USA, and it's not bad. It's pretty good. A friend of mine was talking about it, and I put that on, and I believe it's supposed to be only 8 episodes, and the 5th episode premiered a week or two ago. So it's not, it hasn't finished yet, but I like it. I think it's Justin Timberlake's wife is in it, and I believe her name is Jennifer. Oh my God, I
Justin
can't think of
Timberlake. Isn't he?
Justin.
Isn't he married to? No, no. I know.
Jennifer. I want to say Jennifer Beal, but I think I might be wrong on that.
Oh, I think it is Jennifer Beal.
Is
Yeah,
it okay?
I think it is Jennifer Beal.
It's her. She's the actress. She's the main actress, and the premise is she's married to this guy, and they have a little baby, and they have a humdrum life. Everything's hunky dory. One day they go to the beach, and I'm not giving anything away. This is the premise of the show. They go to the beach as a family, the three of them, and she's sitting on the beach, and without getting into this whole diatribe, she sees this guy and this girl in front of her, and they start flirting with each other. They put on some music, and then this Jennifer Beal lady gets into this daze. She takes out a knife and she stabs and kills the guy. So you see her do it,
Hmm.
and then as the show progresses, you find out why, and there's more to the story. And as each show continues, you get a little bit more information. And right now, I haven't even finished the 5th episode, but it's not a drop everything and go run to watch it, but it's definitely interesting.
Is it only one season? Is it only on the first season? I should
This
say?
it is in the middle of the first season, yes, and it's on USA. It's called The Sinner.
The
So that was
Sinner.
good. There's also another show And I don't know if you'd like this or not, but I like it. There is a show called The Guest Book, and it's on TBS. And I posted this on the what the hell's that website called again? Tech Pop Boom, the Tech Pop Boom
Oh, the
Facebook
Tech Pop
page.
Boom Facebook page. Oh, okay.
Yes, I posted it on there. It's the guy who did My Name Is Earl, and if we did another show, and for the life of me, we've talked about that show on our podcast, but it's not fresh in my brain. This podcast was like total last minute, so I'm not even. This is like all totally off the cuff. But at any rate, this guy, he's done a couple shows, and I think they've all been great. And this is his newest show, and each week it's a revolving set of characters. Each week it's different characters with a few that are the same each week, and it's all actors from his previous shows. Like you'll see a guy from My Name Is Earl, or an actress that used to be on this show. But anyways. It's really funny, and I'm not doing it justice because I'm blabbering on and on about it. But for anyone who likes to laugh and likes comedy, I really recommend it. It's called The Guest Book, and it's on TBS. What about you, Brian? You talk about a show for a minute so I can shut up.
Okay. What I'm getting into is Dark Matter. Now, that's on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay.
And I watched the very first season on Netflix. And so I think we're on the second one and the third one, but it seems like it's one of those stories that starts off where you don't know anything about anyone. Okay, it's like one of those,
Okay.
but everything seems to grow, and then things start to get to, yeah, I mean, things start to like get put together.
Okay.
So now you start to know the backstory of their lives. Okay, here's how it all started. It all started where they all of a sudden wake up out of their like sleep in the middle of space, of course, because they're like 400 years in the future. But
I think I
and
saw that.
yeah, they're like 400 years in the future. And then what ends up happening is they wake up and they don't know who each other are or what their lives were before or anything. They just all they know is they're on this ship and they don't know who's trying to kill who and who was who. But anyway, throughout the whole entire second season, I think we're the second season, is then you start to realize that one person was trying to kill the other person, one person was a secret agent, and one person actually was a
Oh, that
cop.
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and then so now they now are trying to figure out their life like way before because there's one episode I like so much that is my favorite episode, and it was like maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago,
Okay.
and they go back to our time, 2017, or I think it's two, yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they go back in time, and how they had to learn things. They it's so funny because it's like they're used to everything 400 years in the future, so they're not used to walking down the street
Right.
or it's so funny to just see them on their element. But I thought that was the my favorite
So
episode.
this show is called Dark Matter, and how can we watch it? What
Oh, it's on
platform is it available?
Sci-Fi, but is I watch it on the
It's on
app.
Sci-Fi,
Yeah, I watch it on their app.
the
You know.
Sci-Fi app. Okay, and you
Yeah.
said it's on is this the first season, second
I
season?
think
What
we
is it?
were on the third one.
The third one. All right, Dark Matter on Sci-Fi.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I
That
think.
re- that
Oh,
reminds me of a movie. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you up on the
oh
point
no,
too.
no, no. I was just gonna say about Dark Matter is that I think right in this season, I forgot, I gotta correct what I said earlier. It's this season you're learning about Portia's past, about how she actually came to be, and everything else.
Okay,
But okay,
that's
okay.
that's a
But that's
that's
so
that's
so
a
far.
that's a character on the show you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
okay,
I was
sorry.
going to
Go
say
ahead.
that premise you were just talking about reminds me of a movie on Netflix that was just released a few weeks ago called "What Happened to Monday."
You know what? I was gonna watch that.
I liked it a lot actually. I'm reading the description on Netflix. It says, "In a future with a strict one-child policy, six sex what is it, sextuplets must avoid government detection while searching for their missing sister." And I really enjoyed it. It was a movie. It's not a TV series. About a 2 hour movie, and it's a made for Netflix movie. So that's the only way you can watch it is on Netflix. It's called What Happened to Monday, and it was really good. It's one actress plays the all six sisters, and then they have to go into hiding because it kind of takes place in an alternative future, and each family is only allowed to have one child. But without giving too much away, I recommend it. I thought it was pretty good. I think Netflix is pretty strong with their original programming, unlike Amazon, which I think is very weak. Amazon needs to learn a lesson from Netflix. But what happened to Monday was a good movie.
You remind me.
Yes.
You remind me. I gotta. That's.
Well, Brandon, that's what this show is about.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yep. You telling me stuff, and I'm telling you stuff. Yes.
Have you watched the show on Netflix called Ozark?
Yes, I did. I watched the whole
That
thing.
is another show. It's been a while, so we have a lot we have to catch up on. But Ozark, for anyone who hasn't seen it, again, I am reading the description on Netflix. It says, after his business partner cheats a dangerous client, financial advisor Marty must devise a radical plan to save the lives of himself and his family. Now, this is a television show on Netflix. It's 10 episodes, and it stars Jason Bateman, which I like Jason Bateman. He's really funny, but this is not a comedy. This is a drama, and it involves like the mob, and there's blood and there's guns, but it's not all bloods and guns. I thought it was pretty good. What did you think, Brandon?
I liked it. I actually was getting into that show.
Yeah, I liked it too. And they just, I guess they're doing a second season. I just read recently.
Oh, they are? Oh, they didn't cancel most of their stuff.
They did not. Well, there's a lot of shows they need to cancel. Let's say,
like which ones?
There's a lot of.
I'm just curious. Which ones? Which one would you say?
Which one's what?
That you need that you would like canceled, or you would think that needs to be canceled?
It's funny you say that because I was just about to talk about a show that a lot of people like, but I got to be honest, I don't. And that's The Defenders.
Oh, I was just about to talk about that too.
Yeah, The Defenders, Luke Cage, and oh my God, the one show they need to cancel, and they can't cancel it fast enough, is Iron Fist. He needs to take that fist and shove it up his ass. That is the worst show. Oh my God, that is just the worst. The acting is horrible. The writing is terrible. That needs to be canceled. Luke Cage needs to be canceled.
I like
Daredevil needs to be canceled. Jessica Jones needs to continue, and The Defenders, throw it away. Terrible.
I liked Luke Cage. Okay,
well, you would be wrong.
You got to think about it. The middle. Okay, I get that it started off slow, but when it got to the brother,
it did.
That's where
it got better.
That's where it was like awesome. I couldn't stop watching it.
It's been a while since I've seen it. That wasn't as bad. I would have to say Jessica Jones, out of all those Marvel shows, that was the best by far. And they are doing a second season. And apparently, from what I've read, Kilgrave is supposed to be in the new season. Now, whether or not he's in the entire season, makes a cameo, I don't know. But there's an article on Entertainment Weekly that said Kilgrave, which he was the bad guy, if anyone who doesn't remember, in Jessica Jones. He is supposed to be in the second season. But Luke Cage, you're right, it did start off slow. So slow, in fact, that I just totally lost all interest. It just took every bit of energy just to watch another episode. At one point, it did pick up, and it did get better, but to me, it was too little too late. Daredevil has just never done it for me. Like, the second season, to this day, I've never even watched the final 2 episodes. And the episodes I did watch, it was hard to watch because I was watching it because I kind of wanted to keep in the loop. There's some guys at work that were watching it, some friends, but yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry. No, Iron Fist, I will have to agree. I did. Something bothered me about that show. I watched the whole thing though, but
I did not. I could not. Yeah, that's torture. That's torture.
It wasn't torture. I mean, it was.
No, okay. It was. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
It was okay. It was. I mean, it wasn't like. It wasn't like that bad.
And all that being said, I'm a really big fan of superhero movies. I mean, I'm not talking because I loved the new Spider-Man movie. I thought was great. I loved what's that, Suicide Squad. I thought that was good. Iron Man, Avengers. Those are great movies. I love those. But these, it seems like they have like the same writer, and I don't know, they need to boot him and bring him someone else. But I also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Jessica Jones was a different writer, though. I think Jessica Jones.
You're right.
Was a female.
it was, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe the showrunner for Dexter was the writer, the main writer, and the showrunner for Jessica Jones.
Really?
And I could be wrong, Brandon, but I think it was the showrunner who was on Dexter when Dexter was good. Because
Oh,
for anyone who watched Dexter, Dexter was great up until season 4. It was not only was it good, it was epic. It was great. It was a show you had to see. However, the writer left, and then whoever took over after season 5 until it ended turned it into a big joke, and it was just a shadow of what it once was. But if I'm not mistaken, and I may be, I thought I read that the first showrunner, the good one, was the writer for the Jessica Jones show. So I like Jessica Jones.
oh
It was
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah. You know what? I might go back and rewatch it
Yeah.
when before the season 2 comes out. Just because it's been so long since I've seen it
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
that I want to know what's going on when the second season hits.
I read, I believe somewhere, that there are some new episodes of Black Mirror coming out soon.
There is? Oh, I did not know
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Tell me
there's a preview
more.
out. I don't know more. I have a bad habit of scrolling through, and I saw headlines with like a Black Mirror preview for a couple new episodes, and I never clicked on it, but it was enough to tell me that there's more episodes coming. So if you're a fan of Black Mirror, and we are definitely fans of Black Mirror, there are new episodes, I believe, coming, and I don't have any more information to give you other than I'm an idiot and I should have read further, and I
Well,
didn't.
we did this right on the fly, so hey,
Yeah.
give us a break. Next podcast, we'll
Yeah.
get we'll have our shit together. But
Brandon, you know what else was another show that I don't like and I stopped watching is the first season I thought was fun, and I remember you said you liked the second one, and I didn't. Was the Incredible Kimmy Schmidt, which I would like to call the Incredible Kimmy Shit because it was shitty.
I didn't. I thought that was okay.
I couldn't even watch the third season. It just too lame.
Too
Stop
lame.
watching it. Yeah.
What? Okay,
Oh
where
yeah.
did you stop?
I think the first episode. After the first episode, I said, you know what? Can't watch it. I'm done.
Wow. You know what? Wait, what TV do you watch? You seem like you're cutting off all these shows before they even start.
Well, I'm trying to give the audience a balance of shows that I enjoy as well as shows I do not enjoy.
Yeah, well, yeah, like the ones where you
Okay,
go, okay,
here's a
okay.
show that I really liked a lot. And this is season 2 of a show on. These are all Netflix shows, ironically enough, but only because I had the Netflix app open as I'm talking right now. There's a show on Netflix called Master of None, the second season, and I really, really, really enjoyed it a lot.
Now I know you were talking about you were trying to get me to watch it, which is on my list to watch, but I just
You haven't
haven't
watched
clicked
it?
on it yet. No, I haven't even seen a single episode.
Master of None stars Aziz Ansari, I believe his name is. He used to be in a show with, oh, Jesus God. What the hell is that show? Parks and Rec. He was in Parks and Rec.
Okay, another show I haven't
And
seen.
without getting into a 2 hour description, look up Master of None on Netflix. This is season 2 that just came out not too long ago, and it was really good. It started off a little weird. Like the first episode, I was like really taken back, like, huh? Like almost questioning, should I even continue this? This is too strange because it had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the first season. Like the first
Huh.
season, it's about this guy. He's Indian, and he has a bunch of different friends and things. And then he has this girl he meets, and everything's hunky dory, great. And then I'm not going to give anything away, but the second season starts off, and it does really has nothing at all to do with the first one. And it had been a year since I'd watched the first episode, so I was really confused. But if you stick with it, uh, big thumbs up for me for Master of None.
Master of None,
Yep,
which I have on the list that on Netflix that you click on.
I
Hey,
recommend it.
I got a quick question. How do you like their new rating system with the thumbs up or thumbs down? It used to have the stars, and now it has thumbs up and thumbs down thing. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't. I never really take anyone else's opinion. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. Um, I think there's a thing on Netflix that says somehow it knows the stuff that you watch and it'll kind of recommend things. And they're usually pretty, like it'll say, like, it'll give you like a rating like 90% or
Yeah.
70%. And that's, I guess it's okay. I'll typically try to stick with the ones they recommend as opposed to the ones that they don't. So, yeah, it's not bad. I don't mind it.
You don't mind because I liked it with the star. Okay. I mean, okay, what's 98%? I mean, seriously, or what's 50%, or what's, because at least the stars you could go and say, okay, this has 3 stars.
But I wonder
You
what it's
know,
based on. Like, for example, I'm looking at a show I was going to mention called A Series of Unfortunate Events, which is another great show. If anyone hasn't seen it, again, it's on Netflix. It's one season. It is 8 episodes. It's very funny. It's very well done. But it's an 89% match. Now, was it
okay.
89% compared to the things that I watch, or 89% compared to like, the amount of people that are watching the show? I don't
I think
understand
it's,
how that
but
works.
yeah, or 89% of the people liked it out of all the ones that watched it. That's why I'm saying that's kind of confusing to me. At least with the stars, I know, okay, that many people, it's 4 stars or 2 stars, so that
Yeah,
many people hated it, or that many people liked it. But
right.
that percentage thing kind of I'm a little confused about. I don't know how. Yeah, you're right. I don't know how I feel about it. But I was
I
just
don't understand how it works, but I go with it. It's not
me
bad. Could
too.
be
I go
worse.
with it. I mean,
Hmm.
hey, it
Hmm.
still shows me the shows. I'll watch whatever you recommend. So I'm not looking at the rating or what rating it is anyway. So I don't care.
Right,
So
right. A couple shows I want to go through quickly. A show called Glow that was also great.
oh
It's about the
yes.
gorgeous ladies of wrestling. That was a great show. It's based on a female wrestling organization from the '80s called Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. It's loosely based on that. The people who I guess bought the rights to the show bought the rights to the wrestling and not the characters. So if you were a big fan of Glow in the '80s, you're not going to see the same characters. You're going to see the same idea, but with different characters. But it doesn't matter because it's still a really good show.
Yeah, that was good. That I didn't expect it to be good, and
Yeah,
it
it was
was
very good.
something I
Hmm.
stuck with. Well, I mean, I stick with all the shows. You're the one that doesn't stick with shows.
I
I stuck.
have a low tolerance for shitty shows.
Yeah, and I
And
have a
speaking
high
of
tolerance for bad shows.
and you pretty much watch anything. And
Yeah.
speaking of a shitty show, this past season, I tell you what, this past season of Orange is the New Black was the worst one yet. It was god awful. It was painful to watch, and I'm thinking, when will this end? And why would who? Oh, I
No, no,
terrible,
give me.
terrible, terrible, terrible.
But see, I didn't mind it. I thought it. Okay,
Of course you didn't. You love everything.
I like everything. You're right. See. That's why I can't talk about shows because I I like everything. I can't say it's
Yep.
bad or good. Eh, like yeah. You see, you're more of a critic. You're like, well, one episode, I'm done. If I don't like the
One
one
and
episode,
done.
I'm done. Me,
Yep.
no. I'll watch the whole thing and then get my opinion because I don't know. Maybe the last episode will be great. Or you know what it is? I just don't want to have. I don't want to have wasted my time in 5 episodes and not and able to finish it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. I think that's what it is. Why I stick with things. It's not because even if I hate it, I'll sit there and watch it just because I've spent this much time watching it. Episodes and 5 hours and watched it. So I'm gonna watch the rest. I want to watch the rest. So yeah, that's just me.
I, I'm looking through my phone app just for shows I can mention that I really like. I'm looking on the Showtime app, and just before I forget, because I want to mention for anyone who's listening to this, who's looking for some good shows on Showtime. This is if you have Showtime or if you can get to Showtime. Andrew Dice Clay has a show on there called Dice, and it's really funny. They're on their second season. The first season was a mini season, not that many. I think it's maybe 6 episodes. But the second season just started, and the second episode of the second season, dude, I laughed out loud. I was at work. I watched it at lunch, and I was laughing out loud. It was so funny. So if you like Andrew Dice Clay, if you just like to laugh, that's a funny show. Episodes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. No, no, no. Say nothing.
Episodes is also a show on Showtime
Oh yeah, it
starring
was.
Matthew LeBlanc, and I don't love it, but it's definitely a show I enjoy
I loved
watching.
it. I actually,
I
I
think.
actually love that show. I can't wait. I literally was all. I no, To be honest
Have you
with
been
you,
watching the new season?
you know what? I want to wait to the end and watch it all.
Oh
Is that really
God,
bad?
Brandon.
Is that really bad of
Well,
me to
I
do
I
that?
believe episodes. I think it must premiere in England before it comes here. So technically, if you want to, if well, I was gonna say you can download something and watch the entire season,
You could.
but we don't do that. We
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 don't
do
do that.
things the
No, we
legal way
don't do
around
that. We
here.
do
We
that.
we don't.
Yeah, we
We,
don't
we
do that.
watch things the legal way
Yeah.
because that's the way God intended it. So God bless America.
Yes.
I'm
They
being
need to get
stupid.
paid. They need to get paid. So yeah, we watch it. We do our
And God,
like,
right? But yeah,
yes.
episodes.
So have you watched the
It's
first
good.
episode
Check out
episodes?
episodes.
Have you watched the
Yeah,
first
I'm all
one?
caught up.
So
Yes, I
you
watched the first two episodes. Correct. Yes.
okay. Okay. Is it
Yeah, it's
worth
good. It's not.
is it worth
Oh yeah.
me hitting the button?
It's just as yeah. It's just as good as the previous seasons. Yes.
And this is supposed to be their last one, right?
That I don't know. I thought it ended because it had been so long since they did the last season. But it's fine. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but it's something. If it's on, I'll definitely watch it.
And you know, everyone, this is the guy who told me about this show, and this is like one of my top shows. Just to let everybody know. You
It's
know
not
it.
bad. That's not a bad show. I'm just saying there's other shows I like better. It's fun. It's definitely a fun show, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I would say in the history of the show, this some seasons some shows peak at a certain point. I think episodes has already peaked.
I think
Uh,
this is their last season, though. I read that this
it,
was
it
the
it
last
may
one.
it may be to be honest, it probably should be. It probably should be. Not that it's bad. I just think it's time just to wind things up. It's getting
Yeah.
a little too silly, a little too far fetched now.
Well, and it took them forever to make it. I mean, or to do it.
Absolutely. And speaking of shows that in my opinion, could probably be wrapped up. There's a show on Showtime called Ray Donovan, and there's never been a weak season. It's a very strong show, very very good. But this current season started off with a bit of a shocker. I'm not going to give the shocker away for anyone who hasn't watched it. But in watching this show and the way the show is going thus far. I think it might be a good season to end on. I don't know that they're gonna end. This is just my opinion. I think it would be a good time maybe to wind things up and call it a day because I would hate for the show to continue and I would hate for it to get bad. And it's not bad; it's great, but I don't want it to get bad.
You
So
don't want it to be a
if
Dexter moment.
I don't, yeah. So I think if they're going to end, I would think this would be a good show to end it on. But Ray Donovan, they're on episode 4 right now. Episode 5, I thought was supposed to come out this week, but it hasn't. But Ray Donovan, solid, great show.
But let me ask you. Okay, speaking of shows that have not gone bad, did you ever
Yes.
watch all of that other Shameless? Did you? Because I know you were starting your marathon thing going.
Remind me of Shameless. I don't remember. I've seen so
You
many
were
damn
starting it.
shows.
You were starting from the beginning,
Oh,
and you
oh,
were gonna
Shameless.
watch,
Yes.
yeah, Shameless. So you were watching
Yeah.
just from the
I
beginning.
love. Well, we love Shameless. I know you're a
I
big
love
fan of
that show.
Shameless
Yeah.
too. Yeah. You know what?
Did
I
you ever
you
finish
know
your marathon?
I am on season 4, I believe, and it's fun to go back and rewatch these shows. To answer your question, I have not finished. I'm on season 4, and it's great. That's another great show just to watch and just laugh at and have fun with. But in rewatching it for the second time, you go back and you remember these characters you've seen, and seeing it a second time, you can kind of you just realize, man, this guy was a real asshole, and I'm glad they got rid of this person. I'm glad that happened to that person. And then as the show progresses, obviously, you like they got rid of a lot of main characters. Like where the show is now is so much different from what it was when it first started out. I mean, there's characters that they concentrated so much on in the first couple of seasons that are long gone on the current season. So it's nice to see those characters again. And the new season is coming out. God, when the heck? Do you know what's they announced it? I just don't remember when it's coming out.
Shoot, I know they know. Yeah, you know what? I did see something. Oh,
I'm going to say November, but I'm sure I'm wrong, so don't take my word on it. But there is a new season coming up in the next few months of Shameless. If there's anyone out there that likes Shameless as much as Brandon and I do,
yeah, that was yeah. That was like my first show that I watched
that's
like
not true.
religiously. Oh no, that
No,
is
your
not true.
first show that you watched were lit.
Was Weeds
I'm going
actually.
to say what it is. That's exactly right. It was
Yeah,
Weeds.
it was
Yes.
Weeds. It was Weeds. It was Weeds. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
That was the show.
Yep.
That was the first like because I never liked TV. I mean,
Right.
I
Right.
didn't even have one for the longest time until I moved. Yeah, here.
Wow.
I didn't even have a
Yeah.
TV. So, yeah, Weeds was my favorite. And you didn't like Weeds, right?
No, I liked the first couple seasons, but Weeds was like Dexter. It got to a point where it was unwatchable. And when it got to that point, I did stop watching it. As a matter of fact, I never even saw the last couple of seasons because it changed dramatically from what it started out being. It just got way out of hand and way ridiculous, and that's when I stopped watching. But the first, there got to be a point. The premise was the main character's husband died, and she was left with two young kids, two young boys, I think it was.
Yeah.
And she lives in California, and to make ends meet, she started selling pot, marijuana, which was a neat premise because she was just a housewife, but she needed to make money. So that was the premise. And then as the show kind of went on, it just got way out of hand. Where she hooked up with like this. At one point, her house burnt down, and she ended up falling in love with this drug, like a Godfather drug person, and it just got.
It
And did
did.
she become the drug person? Yeah, it just got really, really lame.
And it's
But
yeah. And then she ended up selling her. Okay, we won't give it away just in case if
I don't
people
want
want
to
to
give any
watch it.
spoilers, but it was stupid. But when it was good, it was fun. It was great. But when it got out of hand, it's like okay, it's time to stop watching now.
Oh, so now let me before we like run out of time, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Would you pay the CBS app to get
No.
Star Trek Discovery? And
Hell, no.
tell me why you would not. Even
Okay, so
though
he's at CBS. For anyone who doesn't know, CBS has a streaming service where you can pay whatever their price is, whatever the cost is
it's nine
to
ninety
watch.
nine.
Okay, $9.99 to watch any CBS show. Now, there's so many reasons why I hate this. The biggest one being NBC, Fox, and ABC has their own app. We can watch pretty much any show, but you have a little bit of commercial interruption.
Yeah.
No big deal. I don't mind that. But CBS, for whatever reason, they force their customers to pay to watch their shows. So unless I don't even know if they're available on Hulu. Do you know if the CBS shows are available on Hulu?
I think some of them are. No, I don't think they are either. I don't know.
I don't know because I'm not a subscriber of Hulu, but it sounds to me like the only way you can watch, like, so if you watch a show on CBS, unless you DVR it or you watch it live, the only way you're gonna be able to watch it is obviously on the digital streaming thing. And I'll be damned if I'm going to spend another $10 for another streaming service. I already got to pay for Netflix. There's HBO, and who wants to pay more money for a local, which should be free? And then on top of everything else, Star Trek. Everyone loves Star Trek. Of course, people want to see Star Trek, and they make it to where the only way you can watch the new episode or the new season of Star Trek, which there hasn't been a new Star Trek TV series in years, but they finally come out with let's make a new season of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Let's put it out there. But the only way you're going to be able to watch it is on the CBS app. And you think I'm going to pay $10 for that? You can shove it up your ass. There's no way you're getting my money. If I'm going to watch Star Trek, I'm going to go out of my way. I'm going to watch it illegally, and I'm going to post it on the app and say, guess what? I just ripped you off $10 because I watched the entire season for free. So eat shit.
Yes, Jeff, preach it. but uh, but I really want to watch Star Trek Discovery. I really want to watch
And
it now.
that's how I feel about
I
that.
really want to watch it. I really do. I mean, I don't want to be spoiled by Facebook and people who have the app tell me what's going on.
Is it available right now? When does it start?
It comes out I think in September. I think it's the middle of September.
Oh, so it's coming up.
It's coming up. Oh yeah.
Now,
Oh yeah.
Brandon, like I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and Brandon, it is equally a Star Trek nerd.
Oh,
So for you,
yeah.
this is a
This
big
is
deal.
this is this
So
is like
for someone like you, I can absolutely understand paying the money,
okay.
but there's no way they're getting $10 out of me for this.
Now let
They're
me
doing it on purpose.
now
It's rotten what they're doing.
it is rotten. It is rotten. But let me ask you this: if okay, Disney is coming out with their own version too of their paid app.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes, they are. Yeah.
let's say they have a Star Wars episode kind of thing, but you have to pay for it. Would you pay 9.99 to
Well,
see it?
that's different. If Star Wars, of course, I spend money for that. Of course, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So
no, no. I read somewhere where this Disney streaming service was available overseas somewhere, and they described what their version of this Disney app is. And it sounded to me like it was just mostly cartoons. Like it did not include Star Wars and what's the other big one that they have?
they have Marvel. I mean, all the
Marvel.
Marvel
It
stuff
it
is
it
there.
it, it
Yeah.
did not. It did not include Marvel or Star Wars. To me, it sounded like it was just Walt Disney, like family stuff, like cartoons, and that's the way I understood it. I could be wrong, but that's the way I understood it. Um, and I have a young kid. I, I don't see myself. I guess I would have to see what it is before I can shoot it down. At this point, it's another streaming service. They want that wants your money. So I definitely have no intentions of purchasing it unless it comes out and they have something I absolutely can't say no to. Like if they had the brand new Star Wars movie only available on this Disney app,
Yeah.
well, obviously I'd have to do that. But that being said, I know it needs to stop.
It
I mean, now that
does.
Netflix and all these streaming
Well,
services are having success, everyone wants a piece of the action,
but
and
they're
it's like, you
taking
know
this.
what?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I was gonna say, but they're taking away from Netflix. That's the bad part about this.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that Disney is taking back all their stuff that they didn't have a streaming service, and they had all Netflix was their streaming service. And what scares me a little bit is there goes all the Marvel stuff. They might just say, well, it's doing well on Netflix. Now you'll have to pay for Jessica Jones on our app because they own
Well, we have to
Marvel.
wait and see. We have to wait and see. I don't know.
That's what like scare because it's like a snowball effect. What about Warner Brothers might want to start doing that and
Could be. Yeah, yeah.
and
Well,
okay, so to end this, you'd say hell no, don't get the CBS app to watch
no,
Star Wars.
hell no, hell no,
Okay.
hell
Okay,
no,
okay,
no
okay,
way,
okay,
God no.
okay, okay.
But that's
Then
unless for me it's a hell no. Unless if you're a very big Star Trek person, and it's something you truly enjoy, obviously then do what you have to do. But I'm not spending more
oh,
money for another
oh,
streaming app.
that's right. I did say Star Wars, didn't I? Instead of Star Trek,
Well,
didn't
I know
I?
you're
Huh?
on Star Trek. But with
Yeah.
that being said, let's go into some news,
Okay,
Brandon, because
okay,
it's
okay,
getting
okay.
late.
Some news. So here is some tech news. Um, okay, iPhone is for $999, and it will be
No.
released. I mean not released, but will be. They're going to announce it. Um, September 15th.
September.
So
That's coming up soon.
So yeah, very soon. So and plus there
Yeah,
might be a one for $1,400 iPhone.
that's just ridiculous.
See,
That's asinine.
that kind of scares me only because they set the standard for phones like that, and so now
Yeah.
all of them are going to be $900. And
If that's,
I'm
if,
afraid.
I
I'm
mean,
afraid of
I
that.
love. Yeah, well, I'm a big. I'm an Apple person. I prefer using Apple as opposed to Android. But that being said, if that becomes the new standard, I would have to change. I mean, there's no way I'm going to spend $1,000 for a phone. I mean, it's more than a computer. So that's asinine.
So now, you part of the 70% of iPhone buyers that won't even consider another brand? So you're part of that
Uh,
70% that won't even consider it. They could
at
charge
at this point,
thousands.
no, no, no. I mean, no. Just like I said. I mean, if if I were in the market for a new phone, I mean, at this point, if tomorrow Apple came out with $1,000 phone, and that was my only choice, if they would like, if they the phone 7 wasn't available anymore for whatever reason. I was forced to either buy $1,000 iPhone or an Android for half the price. Well, I would have to go with an Android. I'm at this point in my life. I'm about the money. I need to save money. I
Right.
can't go. I mean, if I was a young kid with money to blow and disposable income, yeah, I'll buy that $1,000 phone. But I got a new house. I got a wife. I got a kid.
You
I
got
got
bill. You
bills.
got bills to
Yeah,
pay. You got bills to pay.
yeah. And
So
I
I'm
think Apple's thinking about those rich people in California who drive Rolls Royces, and they're not
right.
thinking about the everyday person. But
No, I don't think
so
I
be
don't
it.
think so either. Okay. So Android O, Oreo is called now Oreo, which is pretty cool. And so
Mm-hmm.
which I was either hoping for either Oreo or oatmeal cookie. So I'm glad they picked Oreo.
Hmm.
So and it looks like the previous version, but it's mostly things underneath the hood. So like notifications have changed, and because the notifications are now in color, which I kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also, you can probably read on Tech Boom, Pop Boom. I'm not going to read the whole list and everything, but it's on our Facebook, Tech Pop Boom. Let's see here. Okay. So Verizon is going to start throttling all smartphone videos from 480p or
Wow.
720. Now that kind
Wow.
of sucks. That kind of
Yeah, it
sucks
does.
because I mean most Samsung phones are like are like 2K. I think your iPhone is like 1080p. So imagine a video streaming a video, and it's gonna look like you're watching a DVD.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna look like that. You might. Well, I'm gonna say a VCR tape. So
Right. Right.
I don't think I'll be getting Verizon anytime soon. No way. I don't know. I don't. No way. But I'm kind of glad Sprint doesn't do that. Sprint even does 1080p. You know what
Oh,
I'm
cool.
saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they even do that, and so I think T-Mobile do that. So I don't even know why Verizon would even do that. It's not like data is expensive or anything like
You
that.
know why they do it? Because they can.
Oh
Because
yes, and
I
they
think
got
they're
money.
probably.
And yes, you're
Yeah.
right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah.
They can. You are
Mm-hmm.
very right. So, um, let me see what else is here. I'm not going to do 6 months worth of news, though, Scott.
Well, good. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
because
Good.
that would make this long. That would make this long podcast here. Let me see what else. I guess net neutrality. So now the FCC gets to determine whether they want to get rid of it or not. At the beginning of this month, well, I think it was August 31st was the last day you could put in your comments. So hopefully you did. Because now they get to decide on whether the internet becomes crap or not. And by the way, they feel that your Americans do not need fast internet. So that kind of
Oh,
sucks. Yeah. So that
yeah,
kind of
it's
sucks.
ridiculous. We should have faster internet. There should never be
Well,
an issue of I'm only getting 2 gigabits per minute, whatever. That shouldn't be. We
no,
should
it
we
shouldn't
should have the
be.
fast internet.
But you know what? It's in other countries they're getting like gigabits. Like 2 or 3, and we're only getting megabits.
Yeah.
Over here, and it's cheaper. So I just I don't know. We'll see what comes out about. I hope that they go the right way and not repeal net neutrality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck. And oh, do you know? Hey, your Siri. Do you want to talk about your Siri can do the Bohemian Rhapsody? Now,
Oh yeah. That's kind of old news, but yeah, if you for anyone that has an Apple, I did this to Brandon a while ago, and he was really impressed by it. If you take your iPhone and just recite the first line of the song "Bohemian Rhapsody" by Queen, if you say it into Siri, then Siri will repeat the entire song, like all the lyrics, and it's pretty funny. It's just a little goof you can do with Siri just to kind of impress your friends.
I tried to get Google now to do this, and she didn't do it.
It
No,
doesn't. It
no.
doesn't do
But
it.
she
No.
did. But she does make animal sounds.
And you said that with it has jokes of the day. You said too.
Yes, jokes. Yeah, you could tell her
Yeah.
jokes. Yeah, yeah. Well, you could have her tell many jokes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't I like my Google Assistant better. I don't know, but no, I hear, the rumor has it that they're supposed to make Siri 10 times better, and they actually moved
They
it.
need to. They
They
need
they
to.
they moved it from its own department into the operating system, like the iOS department. So now it's the same person. They're all in one group now. So hopefully, I read that somewhere. You know what? I should post that if I can find it about
Cool.
them moving. But
No.
let me see. Let me see if they have a Cortana powered thermostat. I mean, that's kind of old news, but I would have probably gotten that if it was out when I got my smart thermostat. Let me see. And the Pixel is coming out probably around next month. That might be my phone I might get.
Cool.
Let's see here. And I know I said in the last podcast that I was going to talk about my whole entire how I got my phone and whole experience. I'll probably, you know what? I'll probably do that on a separate show.
Do that on
Instead
the
of do that.
do that on the Brandon solo show.
Yeah, I'll do that on the Brandon solo. Yeah, I'll explain it because I know if you might be like, wait, listen to that podcast, and I did say at the very end that we would
People
talk
are
about it.
waiting with bated breath to hear
Yeah,
everything you have to
I
say.
know they are. So I didn't want to disappoint them. That's why I'm saying
People
this now.
love you. They
Yeah,
love you.
yes,
You
yes,
are a ladies' man.
yes. That's why I'm saying this now.
That's
That
right.
so I will do a whole separate podcast with that whole thing.
That sounds
So
cool.
yeah. So I wanted to say that, but let me see if there's anything else in my news because I think that is it. Other
Let's call it. Let's just
Yeah,
make it
let's
quick,
make it
to the
quick. Yeah.
point and easy. We'll leave it at that for now, just to kind of say, hey, we're still doing this. It's been a while, but we're still here. We'll put this out, and then you know what? In a
Oh,
couple of weeks, we're gonna try and do it again, but we're gonna try and do something a little exciting on the next episode. If it works out, I hope that it does. For anyone who's listened in the past, we're gonna have something fun coming up pretty soon. I hope something fun coming up soon. So
yes.
stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned.
So what? You want to tell them the fun, or you're not going to tell them?
No, 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 no,
No.
no.
You're not going to tell them.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
don't.
So you like
Because
to see.
and I want to wait just to make sure it happens.
Okay,
And
so we want to make
I'm
sure
sure
it
that it
happens.
will. I'm sure that it will.
Okay.
But yeah, something fun, definitely fun. Something
Okay,
fun.
okay, yes. Should we
hmm
say like a special gifts or what? No, that's too much, right? Okay.
I wasn't going to say that, but you can
Okay.
say it if you want it.
Okay,
You can
okay,
say it.
I
I'm
can
not
do
going to
it.
say it,
I
but you
said
can
I
say it.
guessed, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That is it. So that's all I have. So you have anything?
Hey, everybody, if you like this episode, we have a Facebook page. Go to Facebook, look up Tech Pop Boom. Give us a like, and then we'll post some. We post as much as we can, just updates on whatever tickles our fancy. We also have a website at www.techpopboom.com, and it basically takes you to the Facebook page, and there's some other cool stuff on there. There was, I don't know if there still is, Brandon, but there was a YouTube page, there was a Google Plus page, but
It still is. Just I don't
it's
know.
it's not. Just stay away from the. So check us out at Facebook. Check us
Facebook
out
is
at
I update
yeah,
Facebook all the time, every
yeah.
day.
Facebook is the page you want to go to if you're interested in us, and like I say, the main website. But that being said, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode.
Yes.
If you like us, give us a shout out on the website. Give us some comments. Tell us you like us. Tell us you hate us. You can go to iTunes. You can give us a rating.
You could go to Google,
leave us some
Play,
comments.
Google Play too. Don't
Right.
forget about the
Yeah.
Google people.
Google Play, iTunes. Leave some comments. Give us thumbs up. Give us a 5-star review. Give us a 1-star review. Don't give us any stars.
Yeah.
Just give us some feedback. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But
Know that you're out there.
thank you
Just
for listening.
shout.
I'm glad that we did this, and we'll have some fun stuff coming up.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody. Toodaloo.
Peace.
Peace.